Apply for the PMP exam with me. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step tutorial on how to apply for the PMP exam. So join me, let's do it. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber, high five, thanks for joining me on this learning journey. And if you're new here, hey, welcome. My name is Ogaga Johnson, and I help aspiring, emerging, and established professionals to start and grow successful careers with project management. And on this channel, I share everything about a career in project management, including life lessons from my project management career and business. So if you're interested in learning about project management, or in launching your career, or in transitioning, or in advancing your career in project management, then click on the subscribe button and let's learn together. So like I said, we are going to apply for the PMP exam together. I'm excited. I hope you are too. So let's go. I have my Google open. I'm just going to type PMI, PMP, and then I put enter. And then I click on Project Management Professional Certification, one of things that come, and say apply for the PMP certification. So I click on continue because I want to apply for the PMP certification. So in case like you don't have an account, you go to register now. But if you already have an account, all you have to do is just put your username, put your password, and log in. Now, for the sake of those that don't have an account, let me register. All right. So register now. So you just have to fill in your details. So I'm just going to fill in details, just picking random things, right? Well, obviously, when you're picking it, you pick like the right answers. Okay, then create your password. You put in your verification code, and then you submit your code. So yay, we've created our account, and now it's redirecting us to where we want to go to, which is the PMP certification. All right, so here you can see apply now for your PMP. So we click on that. Okay, so this is the PMP application, and we're going to start. So the first thing first is your academic education. And the reason why you need your academic education is because if you have like you've done a university or you've done a course that was 3 years long, you only need up to 3 years of project management experience. But if you only have like a secondary school, education, then you need more than 3 years. I think it's over up to 6 years of experience for your PMP application. Now, if you need more information on what the PMP certification is about, if it's good for you, I have a video and I'm going to link it, so you're going to see it pop up. Click on it and just learn more of the different certifications, including PMP, and if it's right for you. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm just going to say master's degree. I'm just going to pick a year. I'm just going to say name of institution, memorial. Okay, field of study, I'm going to put business, and save education. So now I have those details saved. The next thing is professional education. So professional education talks about contact hours. So apply for the PMP exam. One of the requirements is that you've done 35 hours of education on project management. And you can get those 35 hours by either going for a course, like for example, coming on one of my PM Accelerator program, you get the 35 hours of education, or you get it from things like LinkedIn, Udemy, any course provider that you learn project management. And you can also get it from a university course where you did project management and you studied it for at least 35 hours. Okay, so that's what it is. So here I'm just going to put that I got it from the results Training and Consulting Inc., and it was the Project Management Accelerator program, and then I'm going to save it. So can you see it's telling me I'm good because I have up to 35 hours, and that's what they need, 35 hours. Just the way it's saying I'm good because I have at least a secondary level degree, because the minimum you should have at least a secondary level degree. Then I go to continue to experience. So after I filled out the education in terms of my degree, I filled out the number of hours I have on project management education. Now I'm going to fill out my experience. This is very critical at the experience section, because basically your experience needs to demonstrate that you have actually, managed projects or been on a part of a project management team. So that is what the experience is. So for example, as you're seeing here, asking for what the title of the project is, the organization, what your job title is, right? Functional areas, what methodology you use, and the dates. Okay, and if it's in progress, just put it's in progress. And then you need to provide a description, so between 200 to 500 words, not too long. And it's meant to just be high level, that summarizes what your experience was, what the project objective, what the outcome, your role on the project, and your responsibilities and deliverables. So I usually tell people that sometimes it's best to already have this listed out in terms of you have all the projects you've done just written out. And I'll show you an example of how to do that instead of how to list your project experience. So what you need to do is think through your project management experience and think of all the different projects. Now, some people tell me, I was basically an IT consultant. We had so many projects, but we're technically doing the same thing in all the projects, which it look like I'm repeating myself. They all have different titles, right? Maybe SAP integration for company A, SAP integration for company B, and the integrations are different in what they entail, what the project entails for each company. The scope of work is different. So what I'd say is, the project wasn't the same. You may have used the same methodology, like when you're constructing a building, use the same process, foundation, structure, but what the details was kind of different, and maybe your role on it was a bit different, right? So just think about it. What were the key things I did here? You put it for this project, you put it for the next project. So don't lump it up. That's one thing. Don't lump up more than one project together. Ensure that each project is separated, right? You don't want to say, I did this across 3 different projects on your project description. No. Each of the projects must be listed differently. So yeah, let's do it. The first one was that SAP implementation. And the organization, I'll put my company, the results, okay? Job title, operations manager. I know some of you are like, hey, operations manager, not project manager. And can do, well, technically as an operations manager, you might have been in charge of the SAP implementation because it's operations, where it's used for the operational, work within the organization. So functional area, like I said, is operations. Okay, primary focus, I would say consulting. Let's say use an hybrid approach. So whether it's traditional, agile, hybrid, you can select the one you use. Team size, there will be about 9 people, so 5 to 9, that's correct. Let's say the project was about 1.5 million. So here, 1 to 5 million chosen. And this was between January 2020 to December 2020. So now you've filled out these details. So all you have to do now is just write what is the objectives, outcomes, role of the project, your responsibilities, and deliverables. So I'm just going to copy here what I have here, and I'll explain it once we get to the applications. So you see the project objective, I said to implement SAP as the ERP for the organization. But guess what? My role is project manager. Even if my job title is operations manager, right? At that time, the role that I performed on this particular project was a project manager. And that is why sometimes, regardless of what your job title is, you can still get the PMP if you actually manage various projects or responsible for projects. Now, responsibilities and deliverables, what are some of the things you can include? Basically, just think through, what did I do? So for example, on this project, I developed the project charter, I created the stakeholder register, and I managed it throughout the life cycle of the project. I planned the project, and I ensured that I also planned the communication, the resources. Then after planning, I managed the task execution, I managed the communication, ensured people were doing what they wanted to do. So that's what I'm writing here. Remember, you can add as much detail or as little. It doesn't really matter as long as you provide enough description for the project, okay? And then here I'm saying, one of the things I did was to measure the project performance, to check how it's going, how it's performing. Is it according to the plan, or is it actually deviating from the plan? And then suggest different actions in order to get the project back on track. And I also said, I conducted a closeout meeting and ensured that deliverables were transferred to, the operations team. And obviously the project outcome is SAP implemented. So that is it here. So my description is ready. The details are ready. So I can go ahead and literally save it. And yay, so I've saved the experience. And now if you see, this is saying 12 of 36 months. So I've completed 12 of 36 months in terms of my experience summary, and I need 24 months more in order to finish up. So I'm just going to add an additional experience, and luckily for me, I have another experience that's 24 months. I'm just going to put that, and that'll actually complete my 36 months. Okay. So the next project, the project title, if you see my document, remember I said, if you have it here, it's easy. So I have PM School Product Development and Launch. So I'm just going to fill that out here. And then the organization, still very results. Okay, I'm completing it. And my title here now, maybe it was executive director. I got a promotion. Way. All right, then operations, okay. And simple consulting. I would say I used agile methodology for this project. And let's say the team size is about up to 13 people on the team, so 10 to 14. The budget was about 7 million, so I'll just go 5 to 10 million. And then I can say that this happened from January 2021, and it finished January 2023. Okay. Now, one thing you should note also in terms of dates, I just remembered that, the other one was January 2020 to December 2020. If you have another project, let's say that was done from July 2020 to December 2020, you may say, oh, that's 6 months. I had 12 months before, and now I put in 6 months, so that will be 18 months. No, it wouldn't be, because PMI counts distinct months. So to them, that is still 12 months because it still happened. Those two projects still happened between January to December. Okay, so note that. All right, so I filled that out. And if the project is still in progress, that's fine. All you need to do is just click in progress. But this completed, so I'm not doing in progress, but you can do that as well as the option. So then my project description, I'm just going to go here. Remember, I've already written out my objectives, the role, responsibilities, and deliverables, and the outcome. So you can see what was my title? Executive Director, my job title. But on this project, the role I acted was a Scrum Master. Okay, so your project role doesn't necessarily have to be the title that you have on the job. So that's it. All I have to do is save experience, and voila, 36 months complete. So I'm good to go. So I've literally completed, as you can see, I've done the education side, which was either my degree and the PM education, and then the experience. So next thing I have to do is in the final part, which is continue to exam details. I love this. So, to actually what's your exam location. So you just select Canada, you fill out your address, you complete your email address there. You put in what's the name on the identification, name or certification. Now, this is so important because you need to ensure that the name on the identification, that is basically what you use to identify yourself during the exam, because you need to come with a valid government ID. So ensure that, whatever ID you're using, because, some people might have issues with maiden name and all that change of name. So ensure that whatever name you use is the name that's on the identification you're going to use on the exam day. Okay. So that's very important. And then your name on certification can be different, can edit it, okay? So once you have done all that, you just click on I agree to the terms, and all information that are provided are good. And you click on submit application. And that's it. You submit your application, and it will just tell you, hey, application submitted. It will give you that notification on the dashboard that you've submitted your application. So congratulations. And sometimes it could take up to 5 to 7 working days in order to get an update on your application. So you can go back to your email to check for an update, or click and log in back to your account, and you'll see the status of your application on your dashboard. And then one thing to know is that once you're approved, you have up to 1 year to take your certification exam. I hope this was helpful. If you liked this video, you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with friends and family, and also any questions at all you have, leave it in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I have so many videos on PMP, including how to pass the PMP exam, the exact things you need to do in order to pass the exam. So check that video out, click on it, watch it, and if you do, I will see you shortly.